I wanted to come in today and speak a little bit about being a late bloomer. I know that I am a late bloomer, and I know that a lot of you probably are as well. Or maybe you don't have quite the understanding of what that might be, and maybe this will help you to understand where you are on your journey. Trying to live your truth is a tricky thing. So much conditioning exiled us from ourselves. You learn that figuring it out is simply putting one foot in front of the other again and then again. It is making the often uncomfortable choice of listening to your intuition again and again. It gets easier, but easy is not without challenge. Becoming, blooming into yourself and finding ease in your existence is a worthy pursuit. It is worth dedicating your days to. It is worth dedicating yourself to teach yourself new songs so that you can blossom. Trying to live your truth is a tricky thing. So much conditioning exiled us from ourselves. You learn that figuring it out is simply putting one foot in front of the other again and then again. It is making the often uncomfortable choice of listening to your intuition again and again. It gets easier, but easy is not without challenge. Becoming, blooming into yourself and finding ease in your existence is a worthy pursuit. It is worth dedicating your days to. It is worth dedicating yourself to teach yourself new songs so that you can blossom. So, you're a late bloomer. There's a sense of relief in realizing that you're indeed a late bloomer. It was only in the last couple of years that I realized that I had been asleep for the majority of my adult life. A kind of death occurred for me around the age of 15. An experience left me hollowed out and comatose. And it was only while knee deep in the insanity of disease that I began to sense that I was not all the way alive, awake. I was not living, not like the living I'd known when I was younger. That rapture of knowing that you're alive and what a gift it is to be here. I wasn't alive to my own experience of being me within my own life. I'm finding that it's about letting go of the need of wanting to be understood. Welcome back to Rui's Secret Garden. My name is Rui, and if you are here for the first time, hello, welcome. I'm happy that you found your way here, and I hope that you stay. I am a multidimensional storyteller and inspirational speaker. I am also a healer and transformation guide. I've been working with individuals who are ready to transform their trauma, and I also help individuals to repattern the conditioning of their childhood. I'm also an artist, and the art is something that I'm cultivating and focusing on more and more. So thank you for being here. Being in the body is a spiritual experience. Nobody teaches us that, but the more that I'm healing, the more that I'm remembering who I really am, the more that I understand and I appreciate that. This visceral dream of being yourself in this life, of being here, is a journey that's happening all the time within this body. A lot of us are so asleep to our own selves, to our souls, to who we really are, what we really want, and what we even really like, that it can often feel like you're asleep almost as you walk through life. But now, coming into healing is how you recognize that, oh my gosh, I've been sleeping this whole entire time. And I suppose maybe that's why being a late bloomer is. For me, blooming is having a willingness to engage with life fully and to live from the heart and to live from your truth. There's your truth, but then there's also the truth with a capital T. So to have a willingness to live from the truth also. Given that we are these five sensory beings, I wanted to share with you some of the things that I am continuing to cultivate as I try and find joy in this world, as I try to find my way and to remember who I am and to support myself and give myself permission to be myself. A lot of us lose ourselves along the experience of life, right? So it might be perhaps our experience within our family homes or within our communities or within school. Let's say you are an outgoing person and the people that you are raised around prefer quieter people. So maybe you hear, you're so loud, oh, you're too much most of your life. Or you just feel that you don't have the room or the right to exercise your full humanity within your home, within your community, within your school, whatever the case may be. But you feel as though there's something wrong with you being yourself. There's something wrong with you being quirky if that's what you are, being an excitable person if that's what you are, if it is being a very joyful person if that's what you are. Some people get really pissed off at people who are just innately joyful for no reason. The ways in which I began to support myself in remembering who I really am and in helping myself to blossom legitimately was in trying to find where it was that I began to change, as in where I began to put away my real self and to mask so that I made sense to other people, so that I was accepted, so that I received the love and affection that I desired. Once I got to that place, I also tried to remember then the things that I loved to do when I was still myself. So, when I mentioned just now the five sensory human that we are and the need for us to live from that place, what I began to do was to search out the things that were me, that I really loved when it comes to smell, when it comes to hearing, so music, when it comes to food, so taste, when it comes to touch, so the kind of fabrics I like on my skin. And I became more intentional about that. So the clothes that I want to wear, the sheets that I choose to sleep on, and well, energy wise, right? The people that I wish to be around, the way that I want my life to feel, the way that I want my days to sound like. So, how to water yourself? Let's start with taste food. What do you like to eat? Not just to eat, just to fill yourself up or to eat because you're anxious. I know I did that for a very long time. I ate because food was my comfort and I was in a pretty toxic relationship with food. So a lot of the times I ate unconsciously, and when I did eat, I was eating to numb myself. As I came back online, I then began to explore, okay, what do I really, really like to eat? And when I say what do I like to eat, it was also what makes me feel good. As in, what makes me feel energized, what makes me feel good about myself, what gives me more confidence. There was a time when I used to eat a lot of salads because I was so conscious about my weight. It was more a weight aesthetic thing. I realized later that I love greens. I've just always loved vegetables, greens, salads, creative ones with avocado. But I love uh, cauliflower, broccoli. I love the taste. It makes me feel good, and actually, it makes me feel like this divine queen somehow. And I feel the same way about fruits. Not only do they give me energy and just clean out my body and system, but they actually make me feel good. They make me look brighter. They make my skin look clear. I now, even when I cook and create recipes, there's a core experience that I'm looking for, and it made me even more creative within the kitchen. I get excited about food now because it's not only something that I like, but it's something that I know is going to make me feel good. What part of being a late bloomer is that you get repressed along the way. Your nature gets shut down and you're just now functioning as a zombie almost. And then it takes time again to come back to who you really are and remember what it is that you actually like to do and that you actually like yourself, and then to act accordingly, knowing that you like yourself, you respect yourself, and you wanting to take care of yourself. It's a struggle for many, many of us because this world is designed to alienate us from ourselves. The second thing was I don't really wear perfume because I get a headache. I don't know if it's the chemical combinations, but I get a migraine headache when I use perfumes or chemical perfumes. And in fact, I found that I like more natural smells. So when I make myself my own body lotions, I'll put in essential oils. I will soak plants in olive oil for some time. So maybe some lavender plants or geranium in olive oil. Put that out in the sun and then let the sun work on the olive oil and the plant matter to extract the scent, and then combine that with the creams that I make, coconut oil, shea butter, etc., etc. I also just like essential oils, and I'll make my own spritz that I can spray on myself or to reset the room and to reset my sheets and things. What reset means, if you don't know, is just basically to cleanse the energy on the room and to make it neutral. That's basically what it means. But you have to set that intention and then just spread in the room, and it creates a kind of reset. You know, when you buy a new bed or you get clean sheets, that kind of feeling, that kind of frequency. I love to have a burner in the house, so I like scents. When I'm feeling anxious, I'll put on lavender or something like that. But I use scents to also try and put me in a certain mood. I'm anxious, I'll put on lavender, or I'll put on a little bit of rose, or even jasmine. There's more aphrodisiac scents like vanilla. But I'm not, I mean, I'm a single gal, so I don't use that so much. But for those of you who are in relationships, vanilla is a great scent to kind of set the tone and get you in the mood. And yeah, just, kind of get you also feeling yourself. So that is scent. The third one I'd like to offer in terms of how to help yourself bloom is hearing. So, what kind of music do you like? Do you like music? Do you prefer silence? Apart from what is curated for us on the radio, some people still listen to radio. What is it that you actually like? A lot of us also lean into music that we listened to growing up, and the thing about searching out old songs is that we're not necessarily wanting to hear the song, we're searching out old emotions. So what I began to do was to discover what I liked. Like, what music do I really like? I like music. I like good music. That's how I put it. I've got a very eclectic music taste, but I know that I also do love jazz. I love jazz so much. I prefer music that doesn't have any lyrics. Not all the time. So then I began to explore the kind of genres that I liked and began to find and discover new artists. And oh, what a feeling to come back online and to be alive to life in such a way that you want to discover new things for yourself, just to have more fun and more joy and a deeper experience here in this life. It makes things so much more worth it. I then also realized that I do not like sound in the morning. I like it to be really quiet in the morning and for as long as I can. So maybe for the first hour or for the first 2 hours, there's complete silence and I'm listening to the morning, I'm listening to the birds, I'm listening to myself unfold, and I'm trying to also pay attention to what is coming through, right? Whether it be guidance or what it is that I feel like they should be like. And that's the thing. We live like such zombies once again, that everything becomes so automated that we don't always feel how the day should go within ourselves. Yes, there can be things that we're going to do, like this is on the list, this is what needs to be achieved. But the way in which we move as we try to achieve it doesn't have to be set out, doesn't have to be automatic or robotic. So yeah, figure that out for yourself. What do you like to hear? What makes you feel good? I know that for me, being a highly sensitive person, I also love to listen to things like, solfeggio tones or binaural beats or like Schumann resonance frequencies. I really love that, as it just puts me into an elevated mood, especially when I feel a little bit, not so perky. And then the fourth one I touched on just now is touch. Touch. What do you want things to feel like for you? I always felt like I wanted to make things more beautiful. I've recently put words to it, but it's the feeling that I've had as a child always, is that I want to make things more beautiful. Whether it is if I encounter someone behind the till at the shop, I want to make this moment more beautiful. I want to make my life more beautiful. So I like to drink my teas into beautiful things. I have this beautiful antique teapot that I got from an antique store some years ago. So I know that I want my life to feel beautiful. I want to have a good feeling. Like this feels good, actually feels good, but that also then extends, like I said, to the kind of materials that I choose for myself. There were times when you're young and you're impressionable and you see these magazines and all of these images that condition you, that I would wear certain underwear, for instance. I would wear lace underwear, and I found later on that I don't actually like lace. It's uncomfortable, it's not breathable, it's not good for nonos are down there. So I just was like, no, I'm not going to do that anymore. I'm only wearing cotton, and I try to find the best cotton when I can. And so that's what I also mean by that. Like, how do you want your thing? How do you want things in your life to feel like touch? So the sofa that you sit on, clothes that you buy for yourself, are you going to just buy from online anywhere, or do you want to go and touch the clothes that you are going to buy, even if you don't have a lot of them, but you have the best for yourself? Um, and this extends to everything, of course, but do you know how you want to be touched? For a lot of my clients, I would encourage them to explore themselves just as a human with flesh, with a body. So you take, for instance, hand lotion, put it around your hands, and then you put the lotion on consciously. Because it's, usually everything is just done in a rush, but to put it on consciously and to feel what it feels like to have the skin, to feel what it feels like to have these fingers, you know, feel and touch this side of your skin. What does the sensitive side of your skin, the inside of your arms, feels like? What does it feel like to be in the body, to have this body, to touch this body? That's another thing of enlivening your life, right? So when we think about plants or we think about a garden, we have to make sure that the garden has the right conditions for the garden to be able to blossom. So, for instance, we want to remember who we are and be ourselves, but we haven't tilled the soil. So, the soil within us, like who we are, our consciousness, our thoughts, the words that we use are so outdated that we kind of have to throw them out and bring in new soil, right? Fresh soil with nutrients, so we can put in new seeds into the ground and water them. So imagine you as this plant that you're now watering with sound, with taste, with touch. And so this as well is, I speak to my plants, a lot of plant parents, people who love nature will tell you that, speaking to your plants does make a difference to them. So this is the same thing that I'm encouraging with the sharing, and how, as a late bloomer, how you can support yourself. This video is that if we weren't comparing ourselves to the world, or the world hadn't given us these conditions that say that by this time this is what you must have, by this time you should have done this, if we weren't comparing ourselves to anyone else outside of ourselves, we wouldn't be late to anything. So actually we're not late. Right? We're not actually late, we're right on time. But this is the world that we live in, and so much of how we define ourselves is defined by what others have told us. And so acknowledging and accepting that you're a late bloomer and supporting yourself to remember who you really are requires that you remove those things that aren't you, and to find them, because some of them you think they use so much that it takes a while before you realize, actually, I don't want that thing. That is not me. So that is how we can help ourselves to blossom and bloom, is to let ourselves feel, live, explore, yearn for, reach for, as opposed to, just coming home, propping yourself in front of Netflix or whatever the case may be. Other people, you watching other people have fun. How can you begin to remember how to have fun for yourself, to discover yourself, to discover your likes, to explore your consciousness and your own creativity? It's as easy as, again, on the subject of touch, going to lie down on the grass, feeling the grass, at your back, feeling what that feels like, feeling what the sun feels like on your skin as it burns through your skin. Like a child, feeling the warmth of the sun's rays behind your eyelids. Feeling your legs slowly warm up because of the heat. It's just about feeling and animating this experience of life and allowing life to speak to you, or you to speak to life, for you to touch life, for you to make love to your own life and to yourself. Being a late bloomer is a gift because as you mature, you realize that actually there is no race. You're the only one on the path, and it's a marathon. It's not even a race. And you begin to allow yourself to reach for the things that you thought you'd left behind. That's what I wanted to share with you about being a late bloomer today. Let's not forget about sight. What is it that you want to look at? What are you looking at? And through your looking, how is it shaping your world, shaping your life, shaping your mind, shaping your thoughts, shaping your heart, shaping your personality? The things we take in through the windows of our eyes in some ways define us. How do you want to look to yourself? How do you want your environment to look like for you? Do you want to have flowers in the corner once a month or every week? Do you want to have a clear, minimal space? Sight. What are you looking at? Are you observing nature and the birds building their nests? Are you watching the sea dance and speak? Are you watching life pass by and just being while you take a walk? Think about it. Your sight defines your world. If you may, but a lot of us had to remain hidden so that we could emerge at the right time, so that we could assist ourselves and each other and humanity to build the bridges back towards each other, to put up the pillars to a new earth. And a new earth is a new way of thinking. It's a new way of relating to yourself. It's a new way of relating to your story. It's a new way of relating to your purpose. Your purpose is who you are. It's not something that you have to go to India to find. It's something that you have to remember, to remove the layers within yourself so you can emanate that from inside you. I hope that makes sense.